Hello. Welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I posted a new video. Yeah, it's been circumstances beyond my control. So I hope everyone is doing fine wherever you are. Well, we're doing good here. So today I thought, wow, it's been like a whole month or maybe even more, when I last posted the video on my channel. So I'm excited to be back here, and I hope the topic that I'm going to talk about today is going to benefit one or two people out there. Yes, so I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic for some of you. So I'm going to talk about how it is to relocate, to these countries where there's no English, as in non-English speaking countries. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Interesting, right? So I'm going to talk about some of the tips that helped me, when I relocated from Zambia to Sweden. You all know that in most countries here in Europe don't speak, English. They don't use English as an official language. So I thought, why not share the tips that helped me, with the learning of the new language, which is Swedish. So I might divide these tips in parts, because it's quite a lot. I might take a part today, and next time, talk about other things if I come up with some new tips. So first and foremost, people relocate because of different issues, circumstances. I'll go straight in because I don't want this video to be very long. I want it to be very short because, it gets boring for people to listen to long videos. So, tip number one, upon arrival, you should get into school as soon as possible. When you arrive in a new country where, there is no English, because we consider English as a worldwide, language, but there are countries where they don't use English, and most people agree with me that here in Europe, most countries don't use English, and where I live in Sweden, it's one of them. So I would take Sweden as an example because that's where I am. So in fact, even before you arrive in a non-English speaking country, if I'll give an example, if you are going to relocate because you found love, you have a partner, and you're going to be together with your partner, husband, wife, before you even relocate, I would recommend or to give you a tip that I'll give example of Zambia. For example, for example, if you live in Lusaka, there is a Swedish school in Lusaka there. So get there and get started. You can learn some basic stuff, like, very basic, you find teachers who are Swedes. So go there and enroll yourself before you even, plan to move to Sweden. I'll give an example of Dutch. People relocating to Belgium, Netherlands, I remember at the International School of Lusaka, there is a very good teacher there who teaches Dutch. So you can enroll and you start learning Dutch even before you relocate to the Netherlands and to Belgium. Those countries we speak Dutch. It will help you. I think even Germany, I think there are some places where people can go and start learning before they relocate to, Germany. Which other country do I know? The Italian School of Lusaka. I'm talking about Zambia because that's where I come from, but it's different if you come from another country. What I'm trying to say is find a place in your country where you can start learning the language of the country to which you're going. In Lusaka, there is Italian School of Lusaka. There you can enroll and start learning Italian if you are relocating to Italy, for example. So these are just few examples that I wanted to give of things you can do before you even relocate. If you have access to internet, even before you relocate, you can start checking online. At least you can start with some basic stuff, which can help you as you plan your relocation. So start doing something. Don't wait until you are here. And then, as I said earlier, when you are here, then you have to go into school as soon as possible. That is going to help you a great deal. So that's tip number 1. I hope I made myself clear on that. Tip number 2, what can I say? When you get into school, be positive and study the language, the grammar, because that's where the language is built from. Study the language as if your whole life, depends on that. Because I can assure you from experience, if you don't speak right, or in short, if you just don't communicate in the language of the country to which you are going to relocate to, you are not going to go anywhere. You will remain, isolated, and you will not come into society because people, of course, there are people who speak English, but it's not official language. It's not an official language. They just speak it, but the official language is that language which the country uses to which you're going to. So you better start as soon as possible and study as if your life, depends on it. Okay? So you will find things very easy. Be positive. Don't say, oh, it's tough. Oh, I can't. Just do it. If others have done it, you can do it too. Tip number 3. Let's see. If you're coming from an English-speaking country, for example, I'll give myself as an example. I come from Zambia, and in Zambia, we use a lot of English, and it's an official language. You have an advantage. Because most of these languages in these countries, they are related to English in a way or another. I'm sure people will agree with me. When I started learning Swedish, I was very excited, because most words and, the spellings were almost the same, only that they are pronounced in a different way. But I had a very big, huge advantage over those who didn't come from, English-speaking countries. So use that to your own advantage. Tip number 4, if you are, for example, coming because of your partner, let your partner, your husband, your wife, at least help you, teach you the things they can. Of course, you're going to learn a lot in school, but let them help you understand. Ask them as much as, you can. It really helps. Try to tell your partner to speak the language at home. If your partner can speak English, tell him, no, you need to practice speaking, the language. For example, when I came here, my husband was helping with some things, explaining how, things are pronounced, what this is called in Swedish, and you learn like that. So don't start speaking English at home. You're not going to learn, okay? Tip number 5. Most of my friends, my sisters, my brothers, when they relocate to a new country, It's very, like, there is so much to see. Like, it's another kind of environment. So you want to go around, or maybe you want to start touring countries after country. You want to go to this country, just like, they want to see a lot. They want to see a lot when they have come here, and sometimes they're just roaming about in town and checking shops and those things. Reduce on that. Those things will always be there. Get into school and study. You're gonna travel. You're gonna check out things later when you're settled down. So reduce on that. That's very common, that you get carried away with unimportant things. Of course, I'm not saying you're going to be learning Swedish 24/7. No, but just set time and put your effort to learn the language. That's what I mean. Remember, if they say, oh, work and no play makes one dull, of course, yes, but limit and balance. You can travel, but not this kind of traveling, be in school and learn the language so you can come into society, you can start work, you can, do a lot of things. You've left the life in your country, and now you have relocated to another country. Why are you going to waste time? Get into your studies and, start work and, be on your feet, if you know what I mean. Yes, where did I even end? Tip number 5. Excuse me if I'm mixing up the numbers. I'm just trying to remember. For example, do not be afraid to make mistakes. I know when I came to Sweden, I was not shy. I was just like making mistakes, and the teachers liked me for that. Just make mistakes. They're a part of learning. We all make mistakes. If you want to learn, you make mistakes. Someone corrects you, and then you learn. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just practice speaking the language. I practiced speaking Swedish, and it went so well, So don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's part of learning. Yeah, I think tip number 6, if you do not understand, teachers are very good. There are specialized teachers who are trained to teach adults or maybe children coming from other countries. So make use of them. Just ask. They are very happy. They become very happy if they see that you're interested in asking, if you're not understanding something. So just like we do when we are learning something, ask, and you get an answer, and, it's going to help you. Tip number 7. If you can, set a goal that I want. Set a goal. Don't learn the language 5 years. You're just learning the language. At least, set some goals. Like when you're going to complete your course, your language course, so you can do other things, sometimes, when teachers see that you are doing very well, they make you skip courses. I skipped a lot of courses because, I was doing very fine. So there were some courses that I had to skip. I just went direct where it was, considered tough. And I don't regret that I did that. I was challenged, and I took the challenge, and I made it. So, set your goals. Teachers see your effort, and they make you skip some courses so you do not have to waste a lot of time. So that's another tip. If you have friends, just like I spoke about, having a partner, a wife, a husband who is speaking, who wants to be using English, when speaking to you at home, if you have a friend at school, try to avoid. I had a friend of mine. I met this friend of mine who came from England. She relocated to Sweden, and you know, we liked each other so much. She was my age mate, and you know, she's a real English speaker, you know. So when she saw that I was speaking English and you know, with my background and everything, wow, she wanted to like sit next to me, and all the time she wanted to be using English to me, even in class. So I found it quite tough because we were always together, but I started encouraging her, you know, we have to like avoid speaking English. We can speak English already, so let's concentrate on this language that we found here. And this same friend of mine didn't even go ahead with the language. She thought it was tough, so she just dropped out. And I told her, I mean, we have to hang on, but no, she just dropped out. I don't even know where she is now. I lost contact with her, you know. So avoid such friends. Make friends who are going to encourage you to speak this language in these countries. Though, you know, that will help you a lot, I can tell you from experience. And now the next, I've even, you know, lost track of my points. Like, I'll just say next. Next, try to mingle with the natives. The people who are born here, the people who are real speakers of the language of the, you know, of that country. In my case, I started even, you know, I was found with older women, with children, with, I could go to the library and I could meet someone who works in the library. I was just speaking, even if I was making mistakes, I didn't mind about that. So talk to your neighbors. I know here you don't talk to your neighbors anyhow, but at least you can talk to your next door neighbor. It doesn't mean you have to go there and disturb. Just, you know, practice those things that, you know, would help you in future. So do that. Mingle or mix with people who are born here, who are natives of this language. You will learn a lot, like grammar. Oh, so this word, this sentence is supposed to be like that. You're going to learn a lot of pronunciations, how they, you know, a lot of things. So try that. It's gonna help you a lot. If you have access to internet, which is now everywhere, you can, you know, download an app. For example, Google Translate. I mean, it would help you. Google Translate is quite good. You know, you just type and, you know, it will translate for you. That will help you a lot, I can assure you. And last but not least, watch children's programs, like cartoons, you know. Sometimes we even went as a class, we even went to, you know, daycare, like a kindergarten, where young children were speaking in Swedish before they start their, you know, first year in school, like first grade 1. Those kids, those children can teach you how to, you know, speak the language. Children are very good. So if you can't do that, just tune in cartoons and listen to the stories in that language. I did that, cartoons in Swedish. It really helped me. So I'm not here to bore you. I just thought I would share these tips with you. And I'd like to thank you very much. I thank you all who have subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much, and I wish you a pleasant evening. Bye for now, and see you next time in the next video. Take care of yourselves from Corona. It's real, it's killing people. Bye-bye, love you.